Our series today in 2001, and Do-hyun, the best basketball player at Sergi High School, is playing in a very important final match. He's trying to play well to attract the attention of university teams, and his coach tells him this game could secure his future. But right before the match, his girlfriend Jong comes to see him. She tells him she's pregnant, and we learn it's with twins. When the match starts, Do-hyun is completely unfocused. So in the middle of the match, he decides to give up on his dream. He leaves the game and runs to find her. When he finds her, she starts crying, saying she shouldn't have told him before the game. But Do-hyun tells her the match isn't important for his future. She is, and so are their children. He promises her that he will take care of their baby. Then, we jump 18 years later. Do-hyun is now 36 years old. We see him complaining to his friend, Dae-ok-jin. His friend is single, lives alone, and is a big fanatic of movies and superheroes. Do-hyun says his 18-year marriage isn't going well. He and Jong are fighting, and she wants a divorce. She's kicked him out of the house, so he's staying with Dae-ok-jin. Meanwhile, Jong sees an ad for an announcer position, and she decides to apply. She's working hard to be a successful reporter. Do-hyun works as an electronics repairman, specializing in washing machines. He feels useless and miserable. He's been waiting for a promotion for 10 or 18 years. Because he's on the verge of this promotion, he endures rudeness from customers. At one customer's house, he finds a note that says, "Do you want to be young again?" He looks at himself and thinks, of course I do. The homeowner then asks him to fix a small radio. Do-hyun does it. The man notes that Do-hyun is good at fixing things, but Do-hyun replies sadly that he's good at fixing anything except his own life. The man offers to fix his life for him, but Do-hyun declines. He calls his children for lunch. They have twins, a daughter named Ka and a son named Sayu, who are in high school. But at lunch, they just stare at their phones and pay him no attention. Do-hyun is strict with them, so they never share what's going on in their lives. He tries to ask about their ambitions, but feels they have none. He asks Sayu why he stopped playing basketball, but Sayu just says he's not interested anymore. At Da-jong's job, she's fired. It turns out the company director had tried to take advantage of a girl the previous night, and Da-jong intervened, ruining everything. Back at Do-hyun's work, he's excited for his promotion, but his boss gives the promotion to a new employee who's only been there a year. It turns out this guy's the boss's relative. The boss also tells Do-hyun he's being transferred to a new branch in Busan. Do-hyun confronts his boss. The boss dismisses him, saying he didn't get the promotion because he doesn't have a university degree. Do-hyun gets angry and mentions the corruption he's stayed silent about. He begs not to be transferred, but the director refuses and insults Do-hyun and his family. Furious, Do-hyun declares, "I quit," and hits his boss. That night, he goes to meet Da-jong. Seeing his sad face, she understands he didn't get the promotion. He tells her he still loves her and doesn't want the divorce, begging for one last chance. She tells him that even if he got the promotion, it wouldn't change her decision. She reminds him their first divorce mediation is tomorrow and walks away. But as she walks, she remembers their good times together and seems to change her mind. She turns back, but Do-hyun has already left. Do-hyun becomes very sad and wanders to his old high school. He remembers he used to be the school's best basketball player. He goes to the basketball court. He remembers asking Jong out right there. He had said if he made a basket, she had to grant his wish. He threw the ball and said, "Let's start dating," and the ball went in. In the present, he tries to make a basket, but it's been years, and he's tired, so he keeps failing. He thinks of trying one last time. In a desperate attempt to fix his life, he makes a wish. He wants to go back to his youth. He throws the ball. Just as it's about to go into the hoop, the lights go out. He wonders if the shot went in. Just then, the security guard arrives and calls him boy. Do-hyun gets confused and runs away. He goes to a convenience store. He buys instant noodles and a beer. When he goes to pay, he's shocked to see his daughter, CA, working there as a cashier. She asks him for his ID because he bought beer. And that's when we see Do-hyun has become young again. He looks exactly as he did 18 years ago. He's shocked to see Seo working and starts scolding her. He asks why she isn't in the study room. Seo just asks, "Who are you?" Hearing this, Do-hyun gets even angrier. The store manager comes over. Do-hyun says, "This is our family matter. I'm her dad." Seo gets angry and starts cursing him. As he's going outside, he sees his face in the mirror and is completely shocked. Do-hyun runs to his friend Dae-ok-jin's house. But Dae-ok-jin doesn't recognize him and thinks he's a thief. Dae-ok-jin, who loves superheroes, grabs prop weapons. He attacks Do-hyun with Thor's hammer, and Do-hyun has to defend himself with Captain America's shield. Dae-ok-jin says he modified the prop, and it's real now. Do-hyun gets hit on the head and falls unconscious. But then Do-hyun sees an old high school photo of them. He looks at the photo and then at Do-hyun and is shocked to realize it's really him. After Do-hyun regains consciousness, he explains everything. They both go back to the school. Do-hyun also tries to make a basket, hoping his own wish comes true, but he's terrible at it. He tells Do-hyun that he deserves this wish and this is a new start. Do-hyun then has an idea and asks Do-hyun to become his dad. It turns out Do-hyun is very rich. The next day, Do-jong is in court for the divorce, but Do-hyun doesn't show up. Right after, Do-jong gets a message that she passed the first test to become an announcer. She gets very happy. That night, Do-hyun and Do-hyun are outside her house. They see her smiling and talking on the phone about celebrating. Do-hyun is 100% sure she's having an affair. Do-hyun gets angry, but Do-hyun tells him to forget her and to live his new life. The next day, Do-hyun takes Do-hyun to get admitted to the high school. He has legal documents made stating Do-hyun is his son. He tells the principal that Do-hyun is his illegitimate son from America. Do-hyun's new name is Koo-yu. In class, the teacher introduces Koo-yu as the new student. All the girls fall for him. He gives his introduction, and we see that his daughter, CA, is in the same class. He sits down, looking at her. CA gets disturbed, wondering why this crazy boy from the store is here. During class, Koo-yu gets a call from Jong. He just starts to leave. The teacher asks where he's going. He says, "I'm going to the bathroom," and walks out. He picks up the phone. Jong asks why he missed the second court date. He lies and says he's on an urgent business trip to Busan, then promises he'll be there. After the call, he goes to the bathroom and finds a student locked inside a stall. When he opens the door, he's shocked to see it's his son, Sayu. He understands Sayu is being bullied. He gets angry and asks who did this. Sayu asks, "Who are you?" Koo-yu says, "My name is Koo-yu. I'm the son of your dad's best friend." Sayu thanks him, but tells him not to tell anyone. During lunchtime, Koo-yu sees Sayu sitting alone and sits next to him. He asks why he's being bullied, but Sayu tells him to mind his own business. Just then, the boys who always bully students enter. We see Sayu get very scared. Koo-yu understands these are the same boys led by a bully named Seong. Seong hits Sayu on the head with a ball. This makes Koo-yu angry and he shouts for Seong to stop. Seong gets angry and throws the ball at Koo-yu, but Koo-yu catches it, surprising everyone. He threatens to report them if they keep bothering students. We are then shown a scene from the past. Jong was pregnant. Both of their parents were against it and told them to get an abortion. They knew life would be difficult, but they decided to keep the baby anyway. Because of this, their parents threw them out. After they got married, Jong stayed home to take care of the kids, and Do-hyun worked many part-time jobs. Back in the present, Koo-yu goes to the smoking spot at school. He is shocked when he sees his daughter, Ka, secretly smoking there. He gets angry and scolds her. Just then, Ka sees the teacher, Choi, approaching and runs away. The teacher catches Koo-yu. Koo-yu denies smoking, but Choi sees the cigarette butts and asks who else was there. Koo-yu immediately tells him it was Ka, hoping she'll get in trouble. Choi takes both of them to another teacher. The teacher is about to hit Ka, but Koo-yu grabs his hand, saying it's not right to hit a girl. This makes the teacher angrier, and he tells them to call their parents. When Jong arrives, Koo-yu hides his face. Jong is shocked to find out Ka was smoking. But then she sees Koo-yu and claims the cigarettes are hers. Koo-yu gets upset. She goes near him, pinches his cheeks, and tells Ka, "He looks just like your dad." Ka is shocked. Just then, Do-hyun arrives, claiming to be Koo-yu's father. Jong is even more shocked. Later, Koo-yu sees his son, Sayu, playing basketball alone. He's shocked because Sayu had said he wasn't interested. He calls him as his dad, Hong, and asks where he is. Sayu lies and says he's at home. Koo-yu feels bad. He then enters the court as Koo-yu and plays with him, teaching him his moves. Meanwhile, Jong goes to meet her friend Erin at a bar. She's surprised to find Choi there. He overhears them talking about the divorce. After drinking, Jong is a bit dizzy. As she's waiting, she's about to be hit by a car. But Koo-yu, who was at a nearby bar, runs and saves her, reminding her of when Do-hyun did the same thing in high school. Just then, Choi arrives with the car. Koo-yu doesn't like that Choi is dropping Jong home, so out of jealousy, he says he needs a ride too. On the way, Choi starts bad-mouthing Do-hyun, but Koo-yu defends him, saying Do-hyun was a great student and taught him how to play basketball. Jong is surprised he knows all this. When they reach her house, Koo-yu gets out too. Jong advises him to stay away from bad habits if he wants to be a good player like Uncle Do-hyun. Hearing this, Koo-yu feels very good. The next morning, Jong is thinking about how much Koo-yu looks like Do-hyun. She goes to Do-hyun's house angrily and says to Koo-yu, "You are Do-hyun's son." right? They feel relieved. She asks Do-hyun to tell her the truth. Do-hyun, thinking fast, says Koo-yu's mother looked exactly like Do-young. Jong thinks this is nonsense and calls Do-young to ask him. Koo-yu's phone is on the table. He quickly runs out, pretending to be late for school, and answers the call outside. He gets angry, denies it, and repeats Do-hyun's lie. Later, it starts raining. Koo-yu sees Ka without an umbrella, so he buys two. He gives one to Ka and leaves the other on Sayu's desk. Sayu finds it and thinks his sister left it for him. Jong tells Koo-yu and Sayu she got the announcer job at JBC. Sayu hugs her, and Koo-yu, overhearing, gets excited and runs to hug her too. We see that her first days are frustrating. The CEO wants her to resign and treats her like an assistant. As Jong is leaving for her first day, Koo-yu arrives to pick up Sayu. He sees Jong is wearing a very short skirt. He tells her it might be a bit too short for the first day. She agrees, goes to change, and he wishes her good luck. Back at school, Koo-yu sees that Xiong is still bullying Sayu. He challenges Xiong to a 2-on-2 basketball match. The condition is, if Koo-yu wins, Xiong never bullies Sayu again. The match starts, and Koo-yu partners with Sayu. Their teamwork is great, and Sayu shows his skill. They play very well and win the match. TA is also there watching and is happy. That night, a baseball match is happening. The announcer is Jong. It's her first big assignment. She's interviewing the star player, Ji-hoon. She's very nervous. Ji-hoon sees his teammates setting up a prank to throw a bucket of water on her, but they do it anyway. This happens live on TV, and Do-young becomes very angry. Any other announcer might have left, but Jong handles the situation professionally and continues the interview. Seeing his mom's confidence, Sayu gains confidence too. He asks Koo-yu if he can play basketball with him, and Koo-yu is very happy. Jong starts trending on the internet. When she gets off the bus, Koo-yu is waiting. Her clothes are still wet, so he gives her his jacket. Just then, she gets a call from Choi and walks away. Choi meets her and drops her home. But then someone comments on the video that Jong got pregnant at 18. This comment goes viral. The news spreads through the school. When Koo-yu enters the class, Xiong is watching the video and saying bad things about Jong and Ka. Koo-yu gets very angry, but before he can do anything, Ka's friend Ji-ho starts hitting Xiong. Xiong overpowers Ju-ho, but Koo-yu grabs his hand. A teacher sees them fighting. When Ka arrives at school, she finds out what happened. She gets very angry, finds Xiong, punches him hard, and warns him to never talk about her family again. Sayu is upset because of the rumors about his mom. Tsu-yu explains that everyone will forget and tells him to call his mom. Se-yu calls Da-jong, which makes her very happy. At the convenience store, Ka tells Ji-ho not to fight for her. We see a flashback. Boys were bullying Ji-ho for not having a dad. Tie stood up for him. Remembering this, Ji-ho smiles. Kutta puts a bandage on his injury. Koo-yu then arrives at the store. He buys food and a cold drink for Ka, telling her to eat on time. On her way home, Da-jong is harassed by two goons, but Koo-yu appears, teaches them a lesson, and walks her home. He tells her not to give up on her dream. When she gets home, she finds De-young's resignation certificate in the mail and is shocked, realizing he's not in Busan. The next day, Seiya faints in class from stomach cramps. Koo-yu lifts her and runs to the hospital. This reminds him of when she was a baby and had a serious illness. He strokes her head, but she wakes up and tells him to get away. Da-jong arrives at the hospital and thanks Koo-yu. Daeok-jini is also there. Da-jong jokingly says to Daeok-jini, "You raised your son well. Why don't we become in-laws?" This shocks Daeok-jin and Koo-yu. Da-jong goes to pay the bill, but finds out someone already paid it. She gets a message from Choi, the teacher, saying he paid it. Da-jong is troubled by this and by the fact that De-young lied about his job. She calls De-young, who is Koo-yu, and asks where he is. He lies again, saying he's in Busan. Da-jong angrily tells him his daughter is sick and he's not even worried. She says he's never there when they need him and that they don't need him anymore, then hangs up. De-young, as Koo-yu, goes to the hospital rooftop, feeling bad. He overhears Ka talking to Ji-ho. Ka says she wishes she was never born because she feels like a mistake that ruined her parents' future. She hates that her dad is never there. Hearing this breaks De-young's heart. He then gets a message from Da-jong. Their final divorce session is in 2 days. On the day of the hearing, Da-jong is in court. Koo-yu walks in, saying, "I'm here on behalf of Mr. De-young." We see a flashback. De-young was watching Da-jong and saw her meet Choi, the teacher, who hugged her, but he also saw her push him away. She was just there to give him him the money for the hospital bill. De-young realized Da-jong wasn't having an affair. We also flash back to 4 months ago at a reunion party. De-young's successful friends mocked him. He got very drunk, and when Da-jong tried to stop him, he got angry and told her he regretted his life, blaming her for ruining it. This hurt Da-jong deeply. So, in the present, Koo-yu is in court. He reads a letter from De-young. The letter says he deeply regrets what he said at the reunion and that he doesn't deserve her. He agrees to the divorce and gives her full custody, saying his only wish is for her to be happy. Hearing this, Da-jong becomes very emotional. The divorce is finalized. Da-jong tells the kids about the divorce, and they are heartbroken. The next day, Da-jong's malicious colleague finds out about the divorce. She posts it online, and the post goes viral. This also gives Da-jong's boss another reason to make fun of her. After school, Koo-yu sees his father, De-young's dad, waiting at the school gate. We see a flashback of his dad slapping him and telling him to get an abortion, but De-young left home. In the present, his father has come to see Sa and Sa-yu. Sa-yu introduces Koo-yu as his friend. Koo-yu follows his dad and sees he's still working as a bus driver. This is the first time he's seen his dad since he left home, and he feels bad. The next day, Koo-yu is on the same bus his dad is driving. A man gets angry about his driving and starts misbehaving. Koo-yu gets angry, defends his father, and teaches the man a lesson. To thank him, his dad takes him to eat. Food spills on his dad's shirt, and his dad mentions it was a gift from his lovely daughter-in-law. Koo-yu realizes that Da-jong has been in contact with his dad all these years. He also remembers it's his dad's birthday. He pays the bill and wishes him a happy birthday. His dad is surprised he knew. Koo-yu invites himself to Sa-yu's house to study, but instead he starts cleaning the dirty dishes, reflecting on how he took Da-jong for granted. Just then, Da-jong's mother, his ex-mother-in-law, comes home. She's shocked to see Koo-yu, saying he looks just like De-young. Sayuko introduces him as a friend, and Koo-yu gets nervous and runs away. Meanwhile, Da-jong is meeting with the baseball player, Ji-hoon. He's teaching her how to bat. She finally hits a ball and gets very happy, but then he gets a call that his daughter is missing and rushes off. Da-jong is surprised to learn he has a daughter. Later, Da-jong is in a cafe with her friend. Inside the same cafe, Dae-ok-jin is there, and Koo-yu comes to meet him. By mistake, Dae-ok-jin says Koo-yu's real name, De-young, out loud. Da-jong's friend, Erin, overhears them. She finds out Koo-yu is actually De-young and is shocked. Just then, Da-jung comes back inside. Erin is about to tell her, but Da-jung says she has to meet Ji-hoon and leaves. Erin calls De-young's phone, and Koo-yu's phone rings. She says, "I knew it." He admits the truth and begs her not to tell Da-jong. Da-jong meets Ji-hoon. He explains that the girl, Seo-yoon, is not his daughter, but his niece. His older brother, who raised him, passed away in a tragic car accident. The girl's mother abandoned her, so Ji-hoon adopted his niece. Da-jong is moved. The next day, Koo-yu intercepts Erin and asks her not to tell Da-jong. He explains he wants to be there for his family and fix his mistakes. Erin agrees to think about it. At school, basketball tryouts are held. Koo-yu's movements remind Choi of De-young. Then Sa-yu tries out and also passes thanks to his father's lessons. Choi wants to meet their parents. Sa-yu goes to his grandfather and asks him to meet the coach as his guardian. Koo-yu overhears his son telling his grandfather that he got selected for the team, which makes his grandfather very happy. Later, Sa-yu tells Da-jong he made the team, and she's thrilled. She learns Koo-yu motivated him and thanks Koo-yu. Erin, Da-jong's friend, decides not to tell her the truth as she sees how much Koo-yu has been helping the family. Meanwhile, Choi, the teacher, is looking through an old school album. He sees De-young's photo and is shocked, starting to wonder if Koo-yu really is De-young. He calls Da-jong and asks her to meet him at his bar. He gives her a paper with bank account details, telling her to transfer money every month if she wants Sa-yu to play in the matches. He's asking for a bribe. Da-jong refuses. Choi then tells Dae-ok-jin the same thing, but he also refuses. Dae-ok-jin tells De-young, who gets very angry. The next day at school, Choi calls out De-young as Koo-yu walks by. Koo-yu stops. Choi looks at him and says, "Oh, you're Koo-yu," and tells him to go to class. Choi is now very suspicious. That night, Da-jong plans to trap Choi. She tells her friend Erin that she's going to pretend to pay the bribe, but will record him. Erin thinks it's too risky and calls De-young, Koo-yu, to warn him. Meanwhile, Da-jong meets Choi. Everything is going as planned, but Choi finds out she's recording him. He takes her phone and deletes the recording. Koo-yu rushes to the school. Choi tells Da-jung he knows something about Dae-young. Koo-yu finds Choi's office and sees Da-jung crying. She goes to a restaurant and drinks. It turns out Choi revealed that Dae-young had tried out for a basketball team in 2009. He failed, but he kept practicing. The coach was so impressed he decided to add Dae-young to the team. But at that exact time, Seo had an asthma attack and needed expensive treatment. So Dae-young refused the basketball contract and took a mediocre job to earn money for his son's treatment. When Da-jung finds out about this sacrifice, she cries, finally understanding his regret. At school, Jong, the bully, sees his own dad giving money to Choi. He realizes his dad has been bribing the coach. Seong gets angry and tries to hit his father, but Koo-yu stops him. He tells Jong not to do something he'll regret and that he's a good player who can succeed on his own. The school principal tells Choi that the basketball team's performance is terrible. If they don't win the next match, Choi's job is on the line. Koo-yu goes to visit his mother's grave. We learn she passed away during a failed surgery on the same day as his final match, and he has hated his dad for hiding it from him. As Koo-yu is leaving, his dad arrives. He overhears his dad talking to the grave, saying he regrets not telling his son about the illness. Hearing this, Koo-yu also regrets being distant. Before leaving, he tells his dad about the school match tomorrow, saying he and Seo are playing. The next day at the match, the team is losing badly. At halftime, Choi is forced to put Koo-yu and Seo in the game. They play incredibly well and win the match. Dae-young's dad is in the stands. Koo-yu comes in front of him and speaks in French using sign language his mother taught him. He apologizes to his dad. His dad understands that this is his son, Dae-young. They meet after the game and hug, apologizing for the past. After the match, Choi tells Dae-jung that Seo only played because the match wasn't important. He says Seo won't play in the final unless she pays. Dae-jung gets angry and tells Dae-young, Dae-ok-jini, and Aaron make a plan. Dae-ok-jini messages all the parents, pretending to be Koo-yu's rich dad, and calls a meeting about Choi's corruption. Dae-ok-jin and Da-jung convince the parents that what they are doing is wrong, and they all agree to report Choi. Da-jung then calls Choi and tells him to meet her at the school playground. Choi arrives and, after making sure she's not recording, he taunts her. Just then, Dae-ok-jin appears and starts beating Choi up for bullying him in the past. It's then revealed that all the parents and the school principal were hiding and witnessed the assault. Choi tries to hit Da-jung, but she, being trained in self-defense, easily neutralizes him. Aaron arrives with the police, who arrest Choi. He loses his job. Jong, the bully, apologizes to Seo for his past behavior. That night, Ka is working at the store. Jiho and Seong are both there. Just then, Koo-yu arrives. The three boys wait outside for Ka to finish her shift. When she comes out, Koo-yu tells her, "Your dad told me to drop you home." He leads her away. On the way, he asks Ka if she likes Jiho or Seong. She says she and Jiho are just friends, and she could never like Seong. Seit wants to take a dark shortcut, but Koo-yu warns her against it. He gives her a keychain personal alarm, saying her dad wanted her to have it. As Ka is walking home down that same dark street, a man stops her. He's a stalker who tries to attack her. Ka gets scared, but she's trained in self-defense and fights back. But the attacker pulls out a knife. She remembers the alarm and presses it. Koo-yu is nearby, hears the alarm, and rushes over. He starts beating up the stalker. Da-jung and Ka's grandmother arrive at the police station. The police reveal the man is a wanted criminal. After filing the complaint, Ka's grandma thanks Koo-yu for saving her. He replies, "You don't need to say that, mother-in-law." Everyone is shocked. The grandma says she knew something was fishy, and Da-jung jokes, "I'm your real mother-in-law." At school, Koo-yu is paired with Ka for a project. During music class, he plays a song on the guitar, and Ka stares at him, remembering her dad used to play the same song. Then, it's the school festival. Jong sings a romantic song for Ta and proposes to her in front of everyone. Koo-yu had advised him to do this, knowing his daughter hated public confessions. Ka accepts the proposal to avoid embarrassing him, which makes Jiho sad. The next day, Koo-yu follows his daughter, thinking she's on a date with Jong. He sits next to her, but then realizes she's actually at the game with Jiho. It turns out Ka had met Seong privately and rejected his proposal. Da-jung is also at the game for her report, and Ji-hoon invites her to dinner. Koo-yu, Jiho, and Ka all self-invite to the dinner. Da-jung's divorce show, Couples in Crisis, premieres. In the second episode, the audience vote is tied, so the final decision is left to Da-jung. She advises against the divorce. When questioned, she says she regrets her own divorce and admits that if they had communicated better, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Dae-young watches the show and realizes she regrets the divorce too. That night, Da-jung is at home, sad and drinking. Koo-yu comes to see her. She's drunk and thinks she's imagining him. She says, "Dae-young, what took you so long? I've been waiting for you. I missed you so much," and starts crying. De-young wipes her tears and says, I missed you too. Then he kisses her. The next morning, Jong wakes up confused, wondering if the kiss was real or a dream. She assumes it was a dream. She starts avoiding Koo-yu. At school, a female student named Boba confesses her love to Koo-yu. He gently turns her down. Boba notices he's always kind to her when Sia is around and concludes that Koo-yu is in love with Ka. This rumor spreads, and both Ka and Jong hear it. They both get worried and start treating Koo-yu coldly. That night, Daeok-jin throws a game launch party. Ji-hoon is there. Jong arrives and tries to avoid Koo-yu. She accidentally falls into the swimming pool. Both Koo-yu and Ji-hoon jump in to save her, but the pool is shallow and she just stands up. Later, Ji-hoon confronts Koo-yu. He tells Koo-yu, I know you like Jong, but you're just a kid. You should stop, because I like her. Koo-yu replies, you don't know who your opponent is. Good luck, because I never accept defeat. When Jong returns, Ka asks Koo-yu directly if he likes her. Koo-yu says, are you crazy? I only see you as a friend. CA is very happy. Jong overhears this and feels relaxed. She asks Koo-yu to talk on the rooftop. She tells him that looking at him brings back memories and that he reminds her of her ex-husband. He asks if she hates Uncle Dae-young. She says she could never hate him. Dae-young realizes she still misses him. He can't help himself and kisses her again. Jong is completely shocked. She pushes him and slaps him hard right in front of everyone at the party. Furious, she storms away. Ji-hoon asks her if she needs a ride home. Seeing Koo-yu running after her, she quickly gets into Ji-hoon's car. Dae-young takes a taxi and follows them. In the car, Ji-hoon asks if Koo-yu did something, but Jong says no. When they get to her house, Koo-yu arrives. He grabs Jong's hand, saying they need to talk. Ji-hoon steps in. Dae-young snaps, this is our personal matter. Stay out of it. Just then, Jong says, watch your tone when talking to my boyfriend. Dae-young is in shock. Ji-hoon takes her hand and leads her away. Later, she apologizes to Ji-hoon for lying, but he says it was necessary. Jong tells her friend Erin that she felt something when Koo-yu kissed her and decides to keep her distance. Erin is about to tell her the truth, but Jong leaves. Koo-yu finds Ka and asks why she's not going to college. Ka tells him she wants to be a makeup artist, and as she talks, he sees she's very serious about it. Meanwhile, at JBC, Jong sees a producer taking inappropriate photos of a colleague. She neutralizes him, hits him, and hands him over to the police. Ji-hoon invites Jong out and surprises her with a wedding ring, asking her to be with him, but Jong politely rejects the ring, saying she can only be his friend. Koo-yu, still watching from a distance, sees Jong looking sad. He calls her as Dae-young. Jong, angry, says it's been so long since the divorce and he never came to see the kids. She says, I know you're not in Busan. Don't ever contact me again, and hangs up. Jong then finds out Ka is working at the store. She confronts her, and Ka explains she's saving money for a makeup academy. Ka says she's not going to college. Jong gets angry, but back at home, she calms down and asks Kyo about her plans. Ka explains that in the makeup field, experience matters more than a degree. Jong understands and agrees, making Ka very happy. The next day, Koo-yu gives Ka several savings passbooks saying they're from her dad. When Ka looks at them, she realizes it's a history her dad wrote of all her important dates. She realizes her father, whom she had started to hate, truly loves her. She calls her dad Koo-yu and emotionally tells him she misses him and wants to see him. He promises he'll come soon. After this, Koo-yu calls Jong as Dae-young and asks her to meet him outside. She comes out but doesn't see anyone. She calls his number, asking where he is. Just then, Koo-yu appears. Jong is shocked. He says, Jong, it's me, Dae-young. I'm not Koo-yu. He explains everything, getting fired, going to the school, making the wish, and becoming young. But Jong doesn't believe him. She thinks he's a lunatic and tells him to stay away. At school, Ji-ho sees Ka waving goodbye to Koo-yu and gets jealous. He mutters that he hates Koo-yu. Ka asks why. Ji-ho says, because he likes you, and you like him. CA laughs and says she only likes Koo-yu as a good friend. Hearing this, Ji-ho doesn't waste a second and tells her, I like you. Ka is shocked. Because Ka starts avoiding him, Ji-ho tells her to just consider it a joke. But just then, Tae grabs his hand and says, I like you too. Ji-ho is overjoyed. They start holding hands. Meanwhile, Jong is drinking with her friend Erin. She tells her the crazy story Koo-yu made up. Erin finally confirms that Koo-yu was telling the truth. He really is Dae-young. Shocked, Jong calls Dae-young and asks him to meet her at their favorite spot. When she arrives, Koo-yu is waiting. That's when she finally realizes it's true. She opens up and tells him how much she missed him. They kiss. Jong also clarifies that Ji-hoon is not her boyfriend. Dae-young spends the entire night hanging out with her, remembering the old times. The next day, they go on a proper date. He drops her home. Just as he's about to leave, Ji-ho shows up, dropping Ka home. They are holding hands. De-young is shocked. Ka holds Ji-ho's hand tighter and tells Koo-yu, "We're dating." As De-young is walking away, he gets a phone call. The person asks, "Are you Ka's father, De-young?" De-young says yes. He turns around and sees Ji-ho standing there. It was Ji-ho who made the call. He figured it out after seeing an old school video and seeing De-young and De-jong holding hands earlier. He asked De-young to keep his relationship with Ka a secret, and De-young agrees. De-young isn't angry. He knows Ji-ho is a good kid and just asks him to take care of Ka. At the same time, Ji-hoon is investigating his brother's accident. He finds out the man's name is De-young. He watches a video of the accident and realizes De-young ran from his own car to save the niece just before the car exploded, killing his brother. He finally finds De-young as Koo-yu and wants to thank him. At school, the coach congratulates the players for winning the semifinals. He tells Sa-yu and Koo-yu that Hanguk University scouts are impressed. If they win the championship, both will be recruited. Sa-yu is excited, but Koo-yu is not. Jong meets De-young and asks him about the university offer, saying he can finally fulfill his dream. But De-young says he will do whatever it takes to return to his original form. He tells her that she and the kids are more important than his dream. He goes back to the court, tries to make the wish again, throwing the ball over and over, but nothing works. The next day, he goes to meet Jong. As he's confessing that his family is his greatest happiness, his body suddenly transforms back into his 36-year-old self. He had woken up that morning as his real self. Jong is overjoyed. He swears his eternal love and they kiss. They go to watch Sa-yu's final match. Sa-yu is thrilled to see his dad in the stands. The high school wins the championship. Sa-yu runs to his dad and hugs him. De-young praises him. Then he meets C.A. She hugs him tightly and cries, saying she missed him so much. Later, the family goes out to dinner. Jong and De-young tell the kids that things are fine between them and they want to be together again. The kids agree happily. Jong's colleague posts the video of Jong defending her from the harasser. The video goes viral, and the public demands her return to television. 2 years pass. CA is working hard as a makeup artist, and her relationship with Ji-ho, who is studying to be a doctor, is going well. Sa-yu is at Hanguk University and has become a popular basketball player. De-young becomes a children's basketball coach. Jong gets a job at a new network and becomes a successful, well-known announcer for a sports show. Ji-hoon gives De-young VIP seats to a game where they finally meet officially. Ji-hoon thanks De-young for saving his niece all those years ago. Since De-young and Jong never had a proper wedding, De-young takes her back to the high school basketball court. He proposes to her again. They have a grand wedding celebration with all their loved ones. Everyone is living a happy life. This doesn't mean they lived happily ever after without arguments, but this time they learned to overcome them with good communication. We see several important moments of their life, from their first meeting to their promise to grow old together. And they did it. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.